pahayag ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos regarding Yolanda Rehabilitation Program. Kasi Attorney Sal and Doc Lorraine, sinabi po ni PBBM na wala daw pong nagawa ang Aquino at Duterte administration regarding the Yolanda Rehab Program.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who is willing to sacrifice his presidency, his honor and his life to bring about genuine change in the country, President Rodrigo Cadigong Duterte.
So I'm also concerned that he was there. No? So was he just trying to score political points, or did he really forget? No, what is the mental condition of this president?
Let me say something about that.
Yeah.
Yung tinutukoy natin tungkol dun sa sinasabi na kalimutan, he was there nung mayor pa si Presidente Duterte. Yung kanyang deklarasyon was in reference to the rehabilitation ng Yolanda program. Hindi yung nagpunta earlier si Duterte. Iba yun.
Pa siya.
Iba yun. Ang pinag-uusapan yung ginawa ng administrasyon niya. Sabi niya, sinimulan lamang yung Yolanda program 2 years, in other words, mag-assume siya, which is inaccurate, kaya nga kinorek natin.
No, sir, he was there during the program, na turnover. President Bongbong Marcos, who was then, I don't know, senator or a candidate. Candidate siya, no? So, wala siyang pwesto nun. But he was there during the turnover.
Muna natin yung hinain na House resolution ni Congressman Pulong Duterte. Attorney Sal, naghain po kamakailan lang ng House Resolution number 1745 si Davao City 1st District Congressman Paulo Duterte na magsasagawa ng investigasyon sa mga umano'y pagkakasangkot sa extrajudicial killings at ang possible human rights violations na lahat ng mga pinaghihinalaang may kinalaman dito, hindi lang sa Davao City o sa loob ng 6 na taon, kundi sa mas mahabang panahon, Attorney Sal. Bakit po sa tingin ninyo ay ginawa ito ng kongresista? Is there something that pushes him to do this thing, Attorney?
Ibig sabihin yan, walang itinatago ang mga Duterte. Kaya mismo yung anak na ang nag-initiate ng investigasyon. Yun lang yun.
And
may I
yes,
also answer that question? Kasi nakausap ko si Congressman Polong. And then he said, he's also very serious. He also wants to know the real numbers. And ang gusto niya i-expand, yung katulad sinasabi ni Secretary Panelo, walang tinatago. No? At saka dapat, bakit natin ililimit lang doon sa maliit na scope na yon? Do those lives matter more than the lives of other Filipinos na nangyari ito? So, kailangan talaga very wider yung scope. No?
And also, moving on to another topic, Attorney Sal and Ma'am Lorraine, na niratipikahan po ng Senado ang bicameral conference version ng panukalang batas na naglalayong gawing non-bailable offense ang agricultural smuggling. Ayon sa principal author na si Senator J.V. Ejercito, isa itong priority bill na layon na ipawalang bisa ang Republic Act 10845 o ang Anti-Agricultural Smuggling Act at ipasok ang mas mabigat na parusa para sa smuggling, hoarding, profiteering at pagbuo ng mga kartel para sa mga produktong pang-agrikultura at pangisdaan. Dagdag rin ni Ejercito na ang panukala ay magpapapantay sa larangan ng paglalaro para sa mga lokal na magsasaka dahil ito ay maglilinis sa ating lupain ng mga profiteers, hoarders at cartels. Alam po nating isa itong magandang hakbang laban sa agricultural smuggling. Ngunit if ever, mayroon po ba kayong mga pag-aalinlangan tungkol dito, Attorney Sal and Ma'am Lorraine?
Maganda yung batas. Ang problema lang palagi naman yung pagpapatupad. Kaya okay yan. Ba't ipatupad nyo?
Attorney, I have a question sa iyo. Attorney, so bakit ganon? Bakit ang gaganda ng batas ng Pilipinas, pero pagdating sa implementasyon, medyo parang ang nangyayari is parang pag nagawa yung batas, parang sa pag-iisip ng mga lawmakers at yung mga nag-i-implement, tapos na yung gawain nila. So bakit ganon, Attorney?
Kasi yung mga nagpapatupad, may mga agenda. Kaya ayaw nila ipatupad.
Like what? Like for instance with this smuggling?
Corruption. Kasama lahat yun.
Yeah, so in other words, parang ang ganda ng batas about ditong smuggling, pero paano kung pamilya na ang pamilya o a very powerful family ang maaapakan mo dito, a political family, tutuloy nyo pa ba yan? So yan yung problema dyan. No?
Ayan, maraming salamat po sa inyo pong mga komento, Attorney Sal and Dr. Lorraine. At bago po sa ating pong next na katanungan sa current issues, ay tanggap po muna tayo ng balita. Inihayag ni Senate President Chis Escudero na nanatiling nasa mayorya si Senator Mig Zubiri at Joel Villanueva. Samantala, asal ng mga mambabatas gustong pag-usapan ni Escudero sa kanilang pagkikita ni Romualdez. Si Margot Gonzalez sa report.
Pinag-iisipan pa ng grupong Solid 7 na siyang grupo ng mga senador na pinamumunuan ni Senator Juan Miguel Zubiri kung aanib ba sila sa minorya at makikiisa kina Senator Coco Pimentel at Senator Risa Hontiveros. Kasunod nga ito ng naganap na palitan ng liderato sa Senado kamakailan. Ang Solid 7 ay kinabibilangan ni na Senator Zubiri, Nancy Binay, Loren Ligarda, Sherwin Gatchalian, J.V. Ejercito, Sonny Angara at ni Senator Joel Villanueva. Ayon naman kay Senate President Chis Escudero, may kalayaan sila mag-manifest na mapabilang sa minority bloc pero hanggang ngayon raw ay tinuturing pa silang bahagi ng mayorya.
Sa ngayon, base sa tradisyon at rules ng Senado, tinuturing namin silang bahagi ng mayorya. Dahil kung maalala nyo, after nung election by acclamation, dalawa lamang ang nagmanifest na sila'y nag-abstain at hindi sumali sa boto. Kaya nanatili sila sa minority. Si Senator Pimentel at saka si Senator Hontiveros. Malayang makakapag-manifest kahit anong oras basta may plenary session kami, sino mang miyembro na umanib sa minority. Pero sa ngayon, bahagi sila ng mayorya. Pero bahagi man sila ng mayorya o minorya, gaya ng sinabi ko sa talumpati ko mula matapos ako manumpa, tinuturing ko silang pare-parehong miyembro ng Senado.
Samantala, sinabi naman ni Escudero na makikita sila ni House Speaker Martin Romualdez sa mga susunod na araw kung saan mas gusto daw nitong mapag-usapan muna nila ang patungkol sa relasyon at asal ng mga mababatas kesa ang iba pang bagay gaya ng charter change.
Sabi ko sa kanya, mag-usap at magkita kami sa darating na linggo marahil para mapag-usapan una sa lahat ang relasyon ng Kamara at ng Senado na sana maayos, wala nang palitan na maanghang na salita dahil kahit naman hindi kami nagkakasundo sa isa o tatlo o maraming bagay, hindi rason yun para maghugas kami ng maduming damit ika nga sa publiko at magsabihan ng kung ano-anong salita na hindi parliamentary. Sa loob o sa labas man ng plenaryo, hindi bagay sa mambabatas magsalita ng unparliamentary remarks.
Pagdating sa magiging priority bills ng bagong leadership, wala pang masabi si Escudero. Titingnan daw muna nila ang mga priority bill na naunang isinumite ni Zubiri bago ang pagkapalit ng liderato.
Nagpasumite si Senate President Zubiri ng 5 priority bills ng kada senador. At pinapabalik-tanawan ko yon para makita ko ano-ano yun, ano rin napasa. Tapos itatabi namin yan sa LEDAC, doon sa mga in-approve ng LEDAC na administrasyon na priority ng Palasyo. Itatabi namin yan doon sa priority naman sa punto de vista ng mga mambabatas, ng mga local pet bills nila para makita namin kung ano at gagawa at huhubog ng sariling agenda.
Nagpahayag naman ng personal stand ang bagong Senate President sa first bill na kahapon ay nagkapasa na sa mababang kapulungan ng Kongreso.
Mas nais kong palawakin at gawing affordable at accessible yung annulment na nasa family code natin ngayon. Sa papaanong paraan? Payagan ang PAW, tanggapin ang mga kaso tulad nito. Nagsabi na ang Supreme Court na hindi na kailangan ng psychologist para mapatunayan ang psychological incapacity. At pangatlo, para mas maliwanag, i-define ng Kongreso ano-ano nga ba ang psychological incapacity. Menos away, menos gulo, menos debate dahil matagal naman na yung nandyan.
Para sa Diyos at Pilipinas ko mahal, Margot Gonzalez, SMNI News.
Any comments on that news, Attorney Sal and Ma'am Lorraine?
Kahit naman anong gawin nilang minority, majority, para pareho sa akin yan. Maggawin na lang nila yung katrabaho nila.
Doc?
I have so many things to say. Well, kasi binabasa kasi ako kahapon, Sec, no, na yung ano daw yung pinakapakay ni Martin Romualdez is at the end of all of this is charter change. And so I was wondering if the Senate, no, led by the new Senate President Chis Escudero, will accede to this. So this is the concern of a lot of Filipinos. I was monitoring social media yesterday with a social media monitoring tool. And that was of the utmost concern that this change of leadership in Senate, ang ibig sabihin nito, bandang huli, ang maniobra dito ay charter change upang magkaroon ng term extension. So yun yung nasa isip ng mga kababayan natin, paulit-ulit. No?
And na-assess po ng mga tao, Ma'am Lorraine and Attorney Sal, na posibleng mag-join nga po sa Minority Bloc si dating Senate President Zubiri. Ano po sa tingin nyo ang magiging sitwasyon ngayon sa Senado?
Yeah, well, very fluid kasi ngayon, no? Meron akong i-correct pala, no? Very fluid kasi ngayon. Meron akong correct kasi bakit daw sumali sila Senator Bongo, sila Bato, etc. sa majority, di ba? Parang ang interpretation was that nilaglag, something like that, yung naririnig ko. And then it was explained to us that no, they had no choice but to join because ginawang majority floor leader si Mark Tolentino na kapartido nila. So, yeah.
Alright, maraming salamat, Doc Lorraine. At bago po natin babasahin yung mga questions galing po sa ating pong mga kababayan, meron po tayong huling topic na i-discuss which Attorney Sal Panelo already commented on this earlier this week. Regarding po dun sa pahayag ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos regarding Yolanda Rehabilitation Program. Kasi Attorney Sal and Doc Lorraine, sinabi po ni PBBM na wala daw pong nagawa ang Aquino at Duterte administration regarding the Yolanda Rehab Program. Now, with us today in this program is a former cabinet member of PRRD and also PCOO, USEC, and former NTF-ELCAC spokesperson, Dr. Lorraine Marie Badoy, who was also part of the Interagency Task Force Yolanda.
For Yolanda, yes.
For Yolanda.
Yeah.
Now, ano po ang masasabi nyo dito patungkol sa pahayag ni PBBM? Dahil alam naman po natin na hindi po ito totoo after po na pinasungalingan at kinontra ni Attorney Sal earlier this week. Who would like to... Attorney Sal?
Alam mo, gusto kong ipakita sa mga nanonood sa ating ngayon yung tatlong video. I think these videos will speak for themselves.
Yeah.
Panoorin nyo muna kasi napakalaga. Pinadala sa akin to ng isang cabinet member at yung dalawa naman ay dala sa atin ni Dr. Badoy.
So bali what you're saying is hindi na pinag-uusapan dito kung totoo o hindi yung sinabi ng Pangulo, di ba? Kasi very clear, hindi totoo yun. No? Very inaccurate yung statement niya kasi very common knowledge yon, no, na CPRRD did something amazing for the Yolanda victims, no. Not even when he was president, right away, no, he was the first responder. 2 days after Yolanda hit, he brought 80 medical professionals and around 40 volunteers, 20 doctors, 20 nurses, and then 40 na mga disaster volunteers and truckloads of relief goods para diyan sa Yolanda. At ang sabi niya, walang report, let's work. So and his heart was broken. A lot of people saw it. Umiiyak siya. At yun yung maganda dito. That's why I'm happy that President Bongbong Marcos said that, because then we can highlight once again the heart of a true president, no? President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. And then when he sat as president, kasi sinabi mo yung Interagency Task Force, inactivate niya, di ba? Finorm niya. 2017 yun, August 2017. But even before that, no, 2016, by December, wala pa yung task force na yon, 4,000 na housing units ang binigay sa mga pamilya na libre. Libre, wala silang babayaran ng mga Yolanda victims plus financial assistance. So wala pang task force noon. And yet anong ginawa niya na nagka-task force? Na ano yung accomplishment niya dyan? 205,000 victims ng Yolanda ay nagkaroon ng bahay dahil under the term of office, under the watch of President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, so that when he stepped out of office, 85% of the work was already done. So we're happy that President Bongbong Marcos said this, because then now we can hold him to that 15% because kailangan tapusin yon.
Let's play the video.
Yeah.
ako'y saad sa una sa inyo dire katong Abril. Ingon ako nga mubalik gud ko diya sa tanawan. Maningkamot ta nga matagaan mo inyong panimalay sarili na ninyo ni. Ug kani utrohon ako giaprobahan ni sa NHA. Wala na mo'y bayronon aning inyohang 564 units. Libre na ni, wala na mo'y bayronon.
You know, we only really started 2 years ago because nothing was done.
That nothing was done by
anybody. I am not satisfied. I'll be back December. Mike, gusto ko na sa harap nila, gusto ko, by December, gusto ko makalipat na lahat.
Yes, sir.
Commitment, ha?
Yes, sir.
And ask everybody to cooperate. Kindly cooperate. Do not delay government projects.
I said I was riding a chopper at the time they took. It was really in a mess. But sabi ko, I cried twice. Just walking navigating among the dead, I so that they could go alone. Yung iba mga pamilya pa, di mapigilan sarili ko. I cried twice.
Alam mo, naawa ako sa kanila. Even if you wanted to retreat and seek shelter, hindi ko malaman ko, iiyak ako. I cannot shout in anger because you cannot be mad at anybody there.
Hindi ko nga alam kung anong gagawin ko kasi marami pala sila. Nakuha sa aking pamilya. Talaga, mga 11 sila.
I told the Tabaweños city residents, we have to help. Maski na paano, kasi ano kalit, we have to help.
lang ko, November 7.
Attorney Sal,
Parang hindi ko nakita yung isang video na merong anchor na babae. Sinasagot niya mismo yung deklarasyon ni PBBM.
Nakatch ko yun, Sec. Na,
Hindi, pinadala ko sa inyo yan eh. Yun ang mga nauna. Sabi mo nga kay Carlo.
Si Carlo. Pero you know what's funny, Attorney Sal and Dr. Rain, is doon po sa video na yun is, nandun po si BBM. And then, just a few days ago, he had the guts to say na wala daw pong nagawa yung Aquino and most especially Duterte administration regarding the Yolanda Rehab Program. Is his memory that bad for him to say that? What's your comment on this?
Alam mo, gaya ng sinabi ko, alam mo mga presidente, you can expect them to remember everything that they went through. Kaya nga sila, merong mga tinatawag na staff. Mali yung impormasyon eh, kaya nakuryente siya ng gusto ron eh. Kaya when I made a statement, silang tatlo pinuri ko kasi silang tatlo, administrasyon ni Aquino, Duterte at siya, may mga ginawa sila. Pero ang problema, yung mga researcher ng mga taong ito, they're not doing their job. Kaya nagkaka-leche-leche. Tingnan mo yung si Congressman Lara. Mali ang impormasyon na binigay sa kanya. O, di lang kuryente siya. Yan ang problema. Kaya piliin nyo mabuti. Kasi malalaglag kayo sa kumunoy.
So this is where your role comes in very handy. Previously, PCOO Undersecretary.
We didn't have that kind of problem with PRRD because he wasn't really yung nagpopolitika all the time. He wasn't, kasi I remember the context nung pagtanong kay President Bongbong Marcos was about the Maharlika, the rehabilitation program, diba? And he responded like that na sobrang malayo, diba? And there are two things kasi in my mind. He was politicizing, as usual, kasi parang that's a lot of what they do these days, puro politika. Or maybe he just forgot, He forgot, and that to me, yeah, I agree with Secretary Sal, na hindi naman naaalala lahat ng Pangulo, lahat ng nangyayari. Pero yung kay PRRD kasi, kumbaga parang nakadikit na siya talaga sa Yolanda. Everybody knows his track record. It's common knowledge, diba, that he was there and that he really did a lot of amazing things there, diba? So parang for me, kasi the other night I was with PRRD. Okay, I just want to make a point, Seka, if you don't mind. I was with him, nag-dinner kami, and then we told him about this. This is what the president said, and then he didn't say anything. He just smiled, and then he said, hindi naman ako gumawa lahat niyan. I mean, it wasn't, and I was just doing my job. No? Yun ang punto niya. And it was a lot of people that did that. No? So it was so bereft of ego. No? Na trademark ni PRRD yun. Sinasabi niya, ginawa ko lang yung trabaho ko. Wala siyang yung politiko-politika na yan. Naawa ako kasi nakita ko yung mga victims. Kasi I was also there. I did a series of medical missions from the time Yolanda happened and 5-6 years after. Now I would go on a regular basis. So I know the people there. And like that yung lalaki na umiiyak dyan, no, totoong mga buhay ito. Sana wag gagamitin yan sa politika. Wag not to score political points. And just to vilify a president, no, who really served his country and who's so highly beloved and highly trusted by the Filipino people. And on the other hand, I'm happy that President Bongbong Marcos said that, because when we stepped out of office, no, the report, very clear report of the Interagency Task Force that was led by then CABSEC Carlo Nograles was at 85% was already done. So there's that 15%. These are real lives, Mr. President. So there's that 15%. Sana tapusin mo yan. No?
So I guess what would be nice now, Attorney Sal and Doc Lorraine, is to hear from the President directly himself after you have, both of you have refuted what he claimed na wala daw nagawa yung dalawang previous administrations before him. It would be nice.
It's also worrisome for me, no, as a doctor, na what is the mental condition, what is the health condition of this president, no? Especially since malakas yung balita that he is in the grip of a substance abuse disorder. Is it true? Diba? So did he forget that President Rodrigo Roa Duterte was virtually, no, a poster boy of the Yolanda rehabilitation? He forgot and he would say something like that. Diba? So I'm also concerned. He was there. He was there. No? So, was he just trying to score political points? Or did he really forget? No? What is the mental condition of this president?
Let me say something about that.
Yeah.
Yung tinutukoy natin tungkol dun sa sinasabi na kalimutan, he was there nung mayor pa si Presidente Duterte. Yung kanyang deklarasyon was in reference to the rehabilitation ng Yolanda program. Hindi yung nagpunta earlier si Duterte.
Yung
Iba yun.
mayor pa siya.
Iba yun. Ang pinag-uusapan yung ginawa ng administrasyon niya. Sabi niya, sinimulan lamang yung Yolanda program 2 years, in other words, nung mag-assume siya, which is inaccurate, kaya nga kinorek natin.
No, Sec, he was there during the program na turnover. President Bongbong Marcos, who was then, I don't know, senator or a candidate. Candidate siya no? So, wala siyang pwesto nun. But he was there during the turnover, no, of the houses. He was there when PRRD was already president, nung turnover ng housing units during the Yolanda turnover ng houses under the presidency of President Duterte. No, President Bongbong Marcos was there. And so was Speaker Martin Romualdez, who when Yolanda happened was vacationing in Europe, no. So there.
Alright, maraming salamat po sa inyo pong mga comments. So I'm sure...
Can I just add something,
yes,
no? Kasi so much politicizing kasi is happening, no? Sana may linya somewhere pagdating dito sa Yolanda. No, sana tigilan na yan kasi Yolanda happened, 11 years ago, 12 years ago, something like 2013, so 11 years ago. And still, like I was telling Sec Panelo kanina, hindi lang yung kapabayaan ng gobyerno yan, which is malaking kung hindi, marami ding, so many people took advantage of them, no? Kasi the poor are very easy to exploit, no? And I was also part of the Interagency Task Force of yung anti-trafficking, and even that was a problem that was addressed by the Duterte administration. So, pagdating dito, yung lalo ng kahirapan, which is an issue of vulnerability, sana itong this Marcos administration, because he's now the one there in position to help, that he will do something about it, no?
Oh, anyway, before we proceed with the text message, i-release na natin to dahil may appointment. Oy, maraming salamat sa pagpunta mo at saka sa mga video pinadala mo rito at nakita ng taong bayan kung gaano kabali yung mga pahayag ng administrasyon.
Yan,
Maraming salamat.
Thank you.